Hey everyone, welcome to I Got Issues. I'm the Near Mint Nerd. Today we got an awesome specialty haul video. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Star Comics. It was a division of Marvel Comics from the mid '80s. They felt like it was an intermediate comic level, so it wasn't for little kids. It wasn't the more adult fare, which was the more sophisticated superhero comics that they had at the time. It was kind of right in the middle, that Saturday morning tween audience that they were trying to hit with this comic line. And it lasted, I think, about, I want to say 3 or 4 years. So it was kind of short-lived. It lasted longer than the New Universe, and it was actually, in my mind, it spawned some much better comics. When I first started collecting comics, Star Comics were the ones that I was picking up from my local comic shop at the time when I was about 12 years old. I had to take a bus to go all the way downtown to our only local comic shop in Winnipeg at the time. It wasn't the only one, but they were all kind of in the same area downtown. And the Star Comics at the time, I remember, were only 60 cents Canadian, while the Marvel stuff at the time was around 95 cents. So I would buy the Star Comics because they were a little cheaper. I could take home more. I was also buying a lot of Archie Digests at the time. I wasn't super into superheroes at 12 years old, but I got there. Anyways, so today, Star Comics haul. I've been going to like these comic shops, for the last year or two. Anytime I see a Star comic, I pick it up. If it's reasonably priced. Some of them, believe it or not, are actually pretty expensive. Ewoks and droids, they're pretty hard to get for cheap. I did pick up a couple. You're going to see those today, but mostly, they have actually a wide range of titles. So welcome to the live show, the live stream, as I show you off some of my Star comics from over the years of haul pickups. Let me just flip this right around here to show you where's the. I'm so technically addled that I can never find the little flip camera here on the live video. It's much different on the live from the stuff I used to do, so I'm still trying to figure it out. Come on, guys, cut me some slack. Okay, here we go. Flip. And once again, I've managed to do a terrible job of the frame. But let me just quickly rectify that. I think that should do it nicely. And we might as well start with my border books here. Silverhawks #1. I've actually never read this one, so I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's kind of like a Green Lanterns kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know if there was a cartoon or any other material. A lot of these are licensed properties from the Star line, so I'm not sure which ones are original and which ones aren't. I also have Defenders of the Earth. This one, you'll see some familiar faces. There's the Phantom in the front. There's Zatara. I believe this might be Flash Gordon, but don't quote me on that. But definitely that's the Phantom. Oh, look, it's Black Panther from Marvel. Just kidding. I don't know who that is. It's probably just a Panther. And then this dude, who knows? So it's kind of funny that, I'm just saying this is Zatara too. I don't know if any of these people are who I think they are. That's got to be the Phantom though, right? Defenders of Earth. I also have never read that one. And because it's the only issue I got, I was waiting to see if I could find some more. I don't know if they made more than one. Who knows? Come on, guys. It's not like I have time to research this all day. Whoops, sorry about that. Okay, so let's actually just dive, once again, just fixing this a little bit. My apologies if you're getting whiplash from the camera angles. These live shows, I can never quite figure out. I can never get the camera in the right place. All right, so first up here, I'll show you Air Raiders. The power is in the air. This is a real cheapie. I think I got this for $0.25. I don't know if they made more than just the one. I only have the one. Was only really interested in getting the one. It's not a title. I think I'm thinking about it. I think it was 4 issues. I have no information to back that up. I just seem to remember in the back of my head it may have been 4 issues. Don't really know anything about this one other than it is from the Star Comics line. A couple of these first ones are just that. They're like kind of like the oddballs that didn't seem to be have ongoing series or whatnot. Um, so that's that. Here's another one, Inhumanoids, the Inhumanoids, featuring the Beast Bustin' Earth Core. You know the Beast Bustin' Earth Core. No, you don't, because they never went on to do anything else after this. I don't know if that's true either. This seems to be some kind of like, Cthulhu monster or some kind of root vegetable. I don't know. Some of these early ones here, don't know much about them. Managed to pick up 2 of that though, because I'm very disconcerting. That's not the right word. Uncertain. You know what? I'm trying to use words here. I don't have my editing function now. You're going to realize I'm illiterate. Well, that sucks. But we soldier on. We do. Next up, we have Visionaries, #1, Knights of the Magical Light. This one's giant size, Fabulous Fantasy Field first issue. Also picked up #2 of that one. For anyone just joining, I'm showing off some of the Star Comics line, the Marvel line that was around in the mid-'80s, very short-lived, but they had quite a bit of output at the time. This is Visionaries #2, Scream of the Sky Claw. Also picked up, and most of these were $1 or less. I don't think. Besides, and I'll tell you when I get there. Besides some of the bigger licensed books near the end, most of this stuff I got for $1 or less. Certainly, I would never pay more than $1 for to show off some of this stuff. Animax #1, Animax. I imagine this is probably some sort of kids toy property. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just guessing here. Probably there was either a Saturday morning cartoon or a toy line or both, because a lot of the Star Comics line seems to make up that demographic. I did not find #2, but I found #3, Retread's Revenge, and that's a newsstand copy, so that's super valuable. Just kidding, it is worth nothing. As most of these Star Comics are, but they're fun to have. I think these are, this line is a bit of a time capsule, like, it was here for a good time, not a long time, so to speak. What else do we got here? Here's actually a classic toy brought to life. Mad Balls #1, Laughs by the Gross. Egad, Snivelich, these Mad Balls even gross me out. Blah, he hasn't seen nothing yet. I actually had several Mad Balls. I remember as a teenager, I actually collected these. Me and my buddies would get a couple and we'd go out in the field and we'd play toss with them because they were just kind of like little Nerf sponge things, right? Really easy to kind of catch and whip around and whip at people. I should mention I was like a young teenager, so don't think that, this is something I've been doing recently. But I definitely had the eyeball. I think I had this guy and I had the mummy for sure. I'm not sure about anybody else, but I really like these toys. They were a lot of fun. Not sure about a comic line, and maybe that's why this comic was so short-lived. This is Mad Balls #2. Not in great condition. I only paid $0.25 though, and I just wanted to read the series. And I did read it, and it was actually not bad, to be honest. This one's a newsstand, and I had also picked up, unbeknownst to myself, because when I go on my buying jags, I never remember what I already have. If it's cheap, I just bring it home. So I ended up with a newsstand and a regular comic shop version. What else we got here? And I did find #3. None of these Mad Balls are in great condition. These were harder to find in good condition. I don't know why that is. This one's not bad. Got a few spine ticks. Actually, this is probably the best of the bunch, but even that you can see, it's got a few problems. I do like this title though. I thought it was fun. I would love to see, maybe IDW needs to, what happened there? There we go. Even IDW needs to maybe take another crack at that one. All right, what do we all? Okay, I also got. Who remembers this movie? Muppets Take Manhattan. This is the official comics adaptation of the spectacular new Muppets film from Marvel Comics, Star Comics. Sorry, I have to keep waving my hand, but it seems to like it keeps going soft focus, and I keep having to fix that. So this is number one. Like I said, 60-cent cover price. This is around the time that I started collecting comics from the local comic shop, as opposed to just buying them off the spinner rack at the Max Milk that was down the street from my house. Number two, I got Birth of the Muppet Babies. Do you think? Look at that. Also picked up a second copy of number two because, as I mentioned, I never know what I already have, so I always end up buying more comics than I need. And Muppets Take Manhattan number three. I now pronounce you Frog and Pig. I was actually going to do a wedding haul, a haul of all the wedding covers I could find, because as I was going through some of my recent hauls, I started to notice that I had a heck of a lot of wedding covers. Some of them ironic, like the X-Men cover with, Kitty Pryde, getting married to that ghoulish looking thing. But also the Jessica Jones and Luke Cage wedding cover, and the Mary Jane and Peter Parker wedding cover. I actually have a bunch. This would have fit nicely in that haul, but I didn't feel like I had enough to work a full haul out of it. So I decided to keep this in the Star Comics where it belongs. Hi, Luke, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good to see you. We're just doing Star Comics for today's haul. These are all books that I got for $1 or less. Also picked up Muppet Babies number one. Love Muppet Babies. Who didn't like this cartoon, man? This was a great cartoon. Ghosts under our crib. There's a little animal trying to get at them. He ain't scared of no ghosts. That's awesome. There was another Muppet Babies series. I can't remember if it was just Marvel or if it was... I want to say Harvey. Yeah, it was definitely Harvey. That came out a few years after this one. This predates that one. Also picked up another of my favorite Jim Henson properties that were on TV, Fraggle Rock, number 3. I wish I could have found a few more of these. For whatever reason, this one I couldn't. I found a few that were just a little too expensive. I didn't want to spend more than 50 cents, $1 on these. This is the only one I found. I got this for $1. Maybe I'll try to put a run of this together if I keep looking out there in the wild. It's nice to have one though. I really liked Fraggle Rock at the time. Really got a kick out of the show. What else do we have here? We also have, in the spirit of Muppet Babies, the Flintstone Kids. Yabba dabba doo. It's funny because, the Flintstones was very clearly an animated property aimed at adults. It was basically the Modern Family of its time. A modern Stone Age family. And it was definitely designed for adults. But by the time I came around, it was, airing in the mornings as a kid's property. And it never really quite translated as a kid's property. So I guess they felt that by making the Flintstones themselves kids, that would solve that problem. I see. So that's Fred's, that's the equivalent of a skateboard, I guess, by, our modern standards. Anyways, I only got the one. I don't know how long this ran. I gave it a read. I actually really enjoyed it. So I might try to track down some more. That's one that's going to stay in my collection for sure. I say that one is going to stay in my collection, but I've never sold a comic in my life. So I imagine all of these will stay in my collection. Even though I have a bunch of doubles, I really should, find a way to get rid of those. Trade them up. Royal Roy, a prince of a boy. Yes, it's everybody's favorite Richie Rich ripoff. This is like so clearly inspired. I don't know if it's an homage or if it's just clearly like ripped right off from probably the latter from Richie Rich. I mean, it's even like the same money puns. Tee-hee, how adora Bill. Oh, that's cute. I don't know how long this one ran. I haven't read this one yet. I may just stick to Richie Rich. That's the only one I found of that. Also found, and these aren't really my style. I just picked these up to show off because, you know, they fit the theme basically. Misty, Meet Misty. Maybe my daughter will get a kick out of these, but even that's a little weird because the fashions are like so dated, you know. My daughter will be like, seriously? My daughter turns 10, by the way, today. Happy birthday to my lovely little lady. You know her on the station here as Helper Elf. She comes around every once in a while and gives me a hand. Let's see. We got Meet Misty number 3. So this was a 6-issue limited series. I've got number 1 and number 3 of that. And I bought both of these for 50 cents at the same place. So 2 for $1, probably about 50 cents more than they're worth. But, you know, this is a great little time capsule, a great little bit of nostalgia. I mentioned it before, but I'll say it again for whoever's on right now. Star Comics was a division of Marvel Comics from the mid-'80s. Popples. Who remembers the Popples? Again, these were toys. I believe they had a little show. It didn't last long. You know, they were trying to be the Care Bears. Luke, you know what? That is on the list. Luke is saying he wants me to do a haul based on movie properties, and I definitely have that. And I definitely have a full run of Marvel RoboCop, as well as, you know, lots of the Now comics and Dark Horse comics of Terminator, you know, Predator, Aliens. I also have a lot of straight movie adaptations. So you know what? Look for that for sure. I have a ton of stuff. I'm actually an avid buyer of TV and movie properties and comics. I just love it. I love that crossover stuff. So I have a movie one coming out, and I do have a TV one planned for the future. But back to this week's topic, Star Comics. So here's number 2 of Popples. As I was saying, this was kind of the Care Bears knockoff of its day. You know, are you getting a theme here with Star Comics? A lot of knockoffs. It's true. Let's see. This issue, the perfect person who had everything and nothing. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of the Popples TV show, if it even exists. I may be making it up. I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday morning cartoon, though. You guys will have to confirm that for me. And there definitely was a toy line. I remember that much. I also got Popples. I did not get number 3, but I found number 4. Where the Popples go to the Grand Dog Show. No, I haven't read these. I don't know if it's awesome. I don't know if you bronies out there would, you know, dig into these Popples. What would that make you? Like a Popple people? I don't know. I'm not going to try to coin that. What else do we got here? Oh, I remember this. This was definitely a cartoon. I remember seeing this cartoon, Foofer. Who remembers Foofer? TV's new favorite star. Well, there you go. Clearly it was on TV. First issue. Again, today we're showing off some Star Comics. This was Marvel's intermediate line. Below their superhero line, they had this comic to do all their like kids Saturday morning licensed properties. And that right now, I'm right in the heart of a lot of these Saturday morning properties. So a lot of these ones I'm showing you right now are more kid, like younger kid. We're going to get up to the older kid stuff in a bit, but right now we're up to Get Along Gang. Do you guys remember the Get Along Gang? Yet another homage / knockoff of Care Bears. There was, I mean, when Care Bears came out and they were a hit, all these things popped out all of a sudden. Get Along Gang was, you know, also very popular, but obviously doesn't have the staying power of the Care Bears, who still have managed to kind of stay in the zeitgeist a little bit. Whereas a lot of these other ones have fallen off a cliff as far as, you know, recognizability. Here's Get Along Gang number 2. I remember this Moose guy. I think my sister might have had that Moose guy when we were kids. I don't know his name. Let's just call him Moose guy. All right, what else? Oh, now we're into the other here. This Strawberry Shortcake. This property is now owned by American Greetings, the greeting card company, who also does toys and TV shows based on these very much younger properties. I believe they also control the license to Care Bears. Number 1. Um, I wonder if you know the Care Bears will make another comeback. When I was working for Nelvana as a young animation writer at the Nelvana Studios about 15 years ago, maybe closer to 20. Keep that to yourself, though. I'm not, I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm an old man. They were actually had just kind of made a bunch of these Care Bear movies. I worked in the same building with a lot of the artists and the writers and stuff who put these movies together. They also did Rock and Rule. They did the Beetlejuice cartoon, the Ace Ventura cartoon. They also did the Ewoks and Droids cartoons. I actually have some original cell animation art of Ewoks and of Beetlejuice and a few other of the properties at the time. I have gone off on a tangent, as I always do. Here's another young property, Planet Terry. Picked up number 1 of that. Also picked up number 1 of that. Yes, I snatched 2 somehow. No, I didn't buy them at the same time. I never would have bought 2 if I was on the same buying trip. I managed to just, double up on a second trip. Usually because, these things are 50 cents, $1 each. I'll just kind of grab and I don't realize until I'm home that I bought, doubles and triples of a lot of this stuff. Okay, we also have Planet Terry number 2. What else? Planet Terry number 3. I love this old video game cover. Remember when video games controllers actually kind of looked like that? That would have been considered like an amazing graphics game at the time of this. This was like, mid 80s. Isn't that like Atari level, Intellivision level, ColecoVision, that kind of thing? And I also picked up Planet Terry number 4. I think that's all the Planet Terry I managed to scrounge up. I wonder if anyone has like runs of all these books, because I never see them anymore. I never see them in the wild. I see a few of them. I see Silverhawks a lot, and I see Air Raiders a lot. But some of these just like you don't see very much anymore. Like this one, for example. How often do you see this in the wild? Oh, who's this? Good old Nelvana. Oh, there he is. You worked there in the summer of '89, and then that's awesome, man. So you would have been about 9 or 10 years before me. I started working there in 1998 or 1999, maybe. I was working on the preschool shows. Like I did a lot of what did I do? Oh my gosh, time has escaped me. I did a lot of what are they called? The Berenstain Bears, and I did some Seven Little Monsters, and I did some. What else? It's hard to remember. I ended up, being the head writer of a show called My Dad the Rock Star that was created by Gene Simmons. That was a lot of fun. Anyways, enough about me. Let's move on to Top Dog. So I ended up with not 1, not 2, but 3 issues of Top Dog, just by virtue of not paying attention. But I do like Top Dog. There's something pretty cool about this one. It's a little, it's just a funny animal comic. I have a special affinity for funny animal comics because before I got into superheroes, for me, it was all about the Junior Woodchucks and, all the Looney Tunes and all the Disney, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. That's all I had. That's all I owned. And I had a ton of it. All the Whitman packs. I used to buy 3 comics in a bag that Whitman used to put out. And I just couldn't get enough of that stuff. I didn't discover superheroes until around age 12 or 13. And then I just kind of went superhero crazy. But before that, it was, Harvey, it was Hot Stuff, it was Casper. Okay, what else? We got Top Dog number 2. Again, these were mostly $1. Or 2. I may have spent $1 or 2. What else we got here? Top Dog number 3. He's at the pound. Also got Top Dog number 7. I think those are the only issues of Top Dog. Let me see if a little hand wave will bring that into focus. All right. I think that's my new trick. I don't know. I kind of stumbled on that. I've been noticing a lot that I just can't keep anything in focus. So I'm glad I've found something that works. Here's another one of my favorite, TV show cartoons turned comics. Bullwinkle and Rocky. This is actually worth a bit of money. Not much, maybe around 15 bucks. But that's not bad. I'm glad because I only bought it for $1. This one also has Peabody and Sherman in it, which is kind of interesting. They, of course, just had their own movie not too long ago. It was actually pretty good. I did not mind that Peabody and Sherman cartoon film that came out recently, CGI film. But I've always liked the Fractured Fairy Tales and Rocky and Bullwinkle and all that. Always been a big fan. I actually have some older ones too. And I also have the newer IDW series as well. And I believe American, what's the new company that put out the Casper and Pink Panther recently? What are they called? I can't remember, but they also have put out a Rocky and Bullwinkle comic. You know what? I wonder if do I have it? Maybe I can show it to you right now. I got my package from All New Comics in, and it may have been in it. So let me just have a quick peek here, and I'll show you that. I know I'm going off the Star theme because I'm supposed to only be showing you Star comics. Oh, yeah, here it is. Look at that. I was going to show this on Wednesday with my new comics, but you know what? We're here, and it's Rocky and Bullwinkle. So this is brand new. So this is from American Mythology. It just came out a couple of weeks ago or last week. I believe it's just a one-shot, I think. I'm not even sure. But any new Rocky and Bullwinkle, or Bullwinkle and Rocky as it's known here. Wow, Bullwinkle got top billing. I just love. Can't get enough. I'm not going to show this again on Wednesday since I showed it today. So you guys who are here get a special sneak peek of that. Actually, the only peek. Also got Bullwinkle and Rocky #2. These ones have a little bit of value. We're starting to get into some of the Star comics that do have a little bit of value because they're a little more popular and they're hard to find. Bullwinkle and Rocky #3. This is kind of that classic Time magazine cover. And #4, which has a president on it. It's Ronald Reagan. And you know, when there's a president on the cover of a comic, that usually means the comic has a little bit of value. Remember that issue of Captain America with Ronald Reagan on the cover where he's kind of like turning into a snake? You just see him in silhouette, but it's clearly Ronald Reagan. I always like that cover. Yeah, definitely, Alex. I'm curious too. I'm going to be watching your videos to see what you come up with because I very rarely see Star comics on people's videos. I've been gathering these for the past year from various hauls. Also, Heathcliff #1. Really, really like Heathcliff a lot. Always loved that character. He was always kind of like the, once Garfield came into town, he kind of sucked all the air out of the room, but I really enjoyed Heathcliff even before that. Heathcliff #2, this is a newsstand copy. Then we skip to #7. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that this Heathcliff and Thundercats were the longest running Star comics. Hey, Ken Morrissey, very cool. Small World. My first gig was on Babar and Beetlejuice. That's awesome. I probably have. Were you an artist? I probably have some of your artwork. I have a couple of animation cells from that show. And I probably worked just around the corner from you. But, my time was a little past the time of Beetlejuice. They had just kind of finished Beetlejuice a few years before. Heathcliff #8. There we go. Oh, I love this cover. I like yellow covers. I don't know why. And here's another one. Heathcliff #13. I kind of like him in his in his mountain climbing outfit, climbing the birdcage. That's kind of silly. Gotta dig this stuff, man. I just love Star Comics. I didn't appreciate them at the time, as I believe that no one did, which is why they kind of disappeared like they did. Let's see if I can get that into view here. Starting to get a little bit soft focus. Let's see. Move the camera a bit, see if that helps. You guys are gonna have to tell me your tricks for like getting your camera back into focus. Sometimes, oh, there we go. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's a little trickier. Heathcliff number 14. Then we've got Heathcliff number 22. Look, he's got all the little mice on the side. It's a little sad because I guess that signifies that he's actually like, killed or eaten all those mice. That's a little dark, but it's Heathcliff. He's incorrigible. What are you going to do? Also got a Heathcliff annual number 1. And if that's not enough, I've got another Heathcliff annual number 1. Alex, if you need a Heathcliff annual, you know where to find it. Drop me a note and I'll get you one of these. I never have a reason to have 2 comics. I just don't like to sell comics. So, if I can give them away, I'll give them away. I got to keep one though. All right, what else we got here? Isn't it crazy how many comics that the Star put out in this short? Maybe 2, maybe 3 years they were in existence. All right, next up we have Wally the Wizard. Wally the Wizard. I didn't even know this one. This one was, I was like, oh, I kind of got this one confused with Planet Terry. They have kind of the same animation style. Wouldn't be surprised if they were the same creative team. I don't know for sure. Yeah, Alex, I'm the same way, man. I just can't do it. It makes me too sad. I always intend to sell my comics. I put them together and I'm like, okay, I'll have an auction or a sale, and it never happens. They just fold right back into my collection. I did get a second copy of this, and I got a third copy of this that's not quite like the others. You'll see that the colors are a little off. I think this one may have sat in the sun. Or something. It's these ones are much more vibrant. This one's a little washed out. I don't think that's a printing error though. I think probably it's just a little sun bleached. So don't go looking for that exclusive, slightly off color book, hoping to make your fames and fortunes. All right, we got Wally number 3. Wally number 4. Wally was easy to get and cheap to get, so it must have been one of the lesser, not quite as popular comics. Yeah, Ken, it is. I'm Ken too, by the way. You know that. Most of you know my real name's Ken as well, so we're a couple of Kens here. All right, Wally the Wizard number 5. All right. Ken was just saying, Ken Morrissey was just also saying that he hates to sell his comics too. Where, we're all kind of in the same boat. A lot of guys, they like to flip. And, I have no problem with that. Like, if you want to make a couple of bucks, you spend $1 and make $2. I just, that's not for me. I like to, if I have a comic in my hand, it's, you got to pry it out of there. What's his name? Oh geez, I can't remember his name, so I can't do the analogy. Oh well, that's okay. Wally the Wizard number 6. I think that's all the Wally the Wizard I have, and maybe that's probably enough, right? 6 issues of this comic is probably more than enough. Okay, what else have we got here? Oh, this is a fun one. So I actually didn't realize this was Star until I kind of saw this recently. Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham. So there was 2 series of this. I believe the first one was from Star Comics, and it ran, I'm not even sure how many issues it ran. But then they did a second volume, and it was not Star, it was just regular Marvel. And it was a small volume as well. So it's this one is the earlier, I believe it's the earlier version. And I love Spider-Ham. I always have loved parody comics, and when I was a kid, this comic in particular was one of my all-time favorites. I'm not sure if I had the Star one though. I suspect I had the one that was just Marvel because I didn't remember that Star did this one. Here's number 2. This one, I'm a little confused by this. Let me see if you guys can help me with this, because everyone seems to have a name based on what they are, right? So this is Peter Porker, Spider-Ham. It makes sense that he's a pig. How does the Vulture fit into the pig theme? Like, what would the Vulture's name as a pig be? I can't think of it. Um, I can't think of anything that's ham or pig based that it makes sense for him to be a vulture. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Classic overthinking. We got Spider Ham number 3. He's looking for not Shangri-La, but Shangula. I don't know what that's supposed to signify. I got a second one of that as well. Again, disconcerting buyer. I just kind of buy what's there and I don't worry about whether I have it or not. And as a result, I often find myself with doubles. But you know what? When you're only spending 50 cents or a quarter or a dollar, it doesn't matter. It's not a bad thing to have multiples. Great for trading maybe one day. And we also have Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider Ham number 4, an underwater cover. Don't you guys love underwater covers? Aren't there guys out there who just collect underwater covers? I love that. I love that there's these like niche covers that people just go after. Underwater being one of them. So I bet all you underwater cover guys don't have this one. This is probably a forgotten one. All right, what else do we got here? Thanks so much for popping by and joining the live show, all you guys who are, sticking around or who popped in for a minute. It's always nice. I don't really kind of intend to have an audience for this stuff. I used to do the more edited videos, but because I sort of ran out of time and I'm busy with work, it was easier for me to do the live videos. But it's never really about, grabbing a big audience to watch live. It's more about the convenience of not having to edit, to, just put it up and it's there. So I am thankful that some of you are here live and are able to join me at a weird hour. I know it's like the middle of the afternoon on a Monday. Okay, what else do we got here? Okay, so Thundercats, here we go. This one was not $1. I think I spent $2 or $3 for this first issue. Great condition, except for that one little spine push here. You see that? Other than that, that's a beautiful copy. Beautiful copy. Anyways, I think $2 or $3 on that. Happy to have it for that. I'm a big Thundercats fan. Yes, I had a lot of the toys growing up. Don't judge me. Thundercats number 2. Happy to have that one too. Oh gosh, just having a tough time keeping this in focus for you guys. I'm gonna have to learn the tricks of the trade on that. Here, let me just bring it in a little closer here so you can get a good look at that beautiful cover. Thundercats number 3. Now this star line didn't always have the best artists in the Marvel stable. It was kind of like a, like the new universe. It was just kind of an offshoot of Marvel. It didn't have their top talent, but some of these comics are actually pretty nice. Good stories. Thundercats number 3. I remember having some of these when I was young and really enjoying them. Thundercats number 7. Thundercats is a comic, and Heathcliff is the other one that survived past the end of Star Comics, and I guess Peter Porker as well with its volume 2. So Thundercats ran as Star Comics into the 20s, I think, and then it just rolled immediately over, continuing the sequential numbering into a Marvel Comics book when they shuttered the Star Comics line. And the same went for, I believe, Masters of the Universe, and same went for Heathcliff. Heathcliff ran around 40 issues and had another title called Heathcliff Hits or something like that. So it had a secondary title that was only through Marvel. It wasn't through the Star Comics line. Also got Thundercats number 12. Awesome cover. You wouldn't know because my camera keeps losing focus. Oh, man. There we go. So this was a tough one to get. I think I actually spent more on this one coming up than I did any of the others. I think I spent about $6 on this bad boy. Masters of the Universe number 1. It can go for like $20 too. It's a newsstand, as you can see, and it is absolutely minty. It's a beautiful book. Again, I think it's got one little spine problem right there, but other than that, it is crisp and bright and beautiful. Great art. It's a very nice book. Very nice book. I didn't know anything about this until I came across this one. Chuck Norris, Karate Commandos. This was a Saturday morning cartoon for a short time. I remember that much, but I didn't know it was a Star comic. I don't think they did too many issues. Here's number 1. I like Karate Commandos with a K. They like the alliteration, I guess. Here's number 2. That's a sweet, sweet stash there on Mr. CN. That's all I have of that. I thought I had a third one, but I guess I was fooling myself. All right, and here's the big. These last ones, it's kind of like the big titles, because they're Lucasfilms. Now, both of these properties, again, I might be making that number up. I'm not sure. And also have the direct edition. And what else? I got Ewoks number 2. And I like the girl Ewok in the pink hood. You know, like the one that never appeared in Star Wars. And Ewoks 3. Oh no, the Wicket. It's so funny that Wicket became kind of like the main character. And I love how they're so cute in the cartoon, but they look so horrifying in the actual movies. So dead-eyed. Lucasfilm did a lot to fix those movies, but he never went back in and made those Ewoks look more real. Maybe that's the next revamp. I'm just kidding, guys. I like them like that. I don't want to see any more fixes. Don't send me letters. So this is Ewoks number 4. I don't have the one. I believe it was either number 6 or number 11 that I used to. I remember it had a blue cover. It was one of the first comics I ever bought at a local comic shop. An issue of Ewoks. Can't remember what number. I think it was maybe 11 or 6. I'm not sure. Ewoks number 8. That's a pretty cool one. The Kregan Beast rises again. And finally, number 14. Ewok versus Ewok. Destroy. Wicket, stop. It's me, Tebow. I don't know what's going on there. Looks like some mind control. All right, we're down to the last few Star comics here, guys. I'm getting a little teary-eyed, a little weepy here just thinking about this video coming to an end, but all good things must come to an end, so let's roll downhill towards the last few issues here. One of them being Droids number 1, first thrilling issue. I don't think I owned any of these. I wasn't a big Droids fan. I preferred the Ewoks to the Droids, but glad I was able to find some of these. I think I paid $3 or $4 each for them. Not too bad. These are actually in mint condition. Number 2. I mean, these are hard to find in this condition. These are hard to find, period. Yep, number 2. And also got number 3. Beautiful covers, kind of really fun. Very reminiscent of the cartoon animation, of course. This one, first of a 3-part saga. So this is number 6. This one has a little more traditional art on it. I wonder if there was a little bit of blowback from, the more cartoony version of the Droids comic, which then kind of became this more closely tied into the regular universe Star Wars comic. You can see the art style changes. Starts to include, some of the other Star Wars characters who aren't in these early issues because, they didn't have the license for them. They were based on the cartoon series. So I feel like, this was trying to course correct and, maybe get a little additional sales going. Clearly it didn't work because this was canceled, shortly thereafter. Just after the first year, I believe. Okay, guys, that's all she wrote. I think I'm all out of Star comics to show you. I'm pretty sure that I probably had at least one issue in this video of like 80% of their output. Maybe even the whole thing. I honestly don't know. I don't know what's missing. Everything that I'm aware of is represented here. Some things I only have 1 or 2 issues of, but I think if you're interested in this old, hey, thanks, man. Thanks, Luke. I think here, you know what? Let me finish off on my mug here instead of these books. I'll just say my goodbyes over here in person. So that's another video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my Star Comics tribute, my Star Comics haul. Like I said, I've been putting this haul together for the past year. Whenever I go out digging in back issues, I always keep my eyes open for Star Comics specifically. I kind of just like it as a niche kind of comic line. I have this morbid fascination with old comic lines that didn't quite make it. I have a lot of New Universe. I have some Malibu. You know, just stuff that didn't quite make it there. Thanks, Ken Morrissey. Good to see you out, bud. Hope to see you again in another video. Yeah, so I end up, picking those up, trying to like just kind of gather some of those. So maybe I'll show you some more defunct comic lines in a future haul. I don't have any ready to go. Maybe I could do New Universe. The trouble is I don't really like the New Universe. Not a big fan of Kickers Inc. You know what I'm saying? So the thought of going out and buying more does not fill me with joy, like it did to get all these Star Comics today. But we'll see what happens in the future, guys. Thank you so much. I'm the Near Mint Nerd. We are here on the I Got Issues Network. Thanks so much for joining me live on a Monday afternoon. I'm going to see you again Wednesday. I don't want to put a specific time on it, but it'll be early afternoon. We're going to go live with Wednesday's books. Can't wait to show you what I'm picking up. Also, I got my batch of all new comics from last month. So I'll be able to show you, the bulk of the stuff you didn't see in the last few videos. So we're going to have a great time on Wednesday, 2 days from now. Take care, guys. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Please hit like. Please send me a comment. Please, hit the little bell so that you'll get all these future live videos. You can pop in and say hi right when we're recording. And I'm going to see you guys later. Thanks so much. And I'll see you again. And that is going to do it. Thanks, guys. And